welcome back to She Is Always Right. Today we are going to talk about how we went from broke to bougie and our relationship with money and how it has evolved since years and ages.
Evolved from literally the time when we used to have 100 rupees and still felt richer. And now having everything still feels like we want more.
Still feel something isn't complete.
So today we're going to talk about all the money things and how we have meant to sort of manifest this place where we are right now with money and how our relationship has grown over time and with over age. So let's get into the episode and talk some money shit.
Let's get started.
So to start with, it feels like our relationship with money has seen more phases than our relationships in love life. Because
A lot of phases.
yeah, because we have gone through the college broke phase to college के बाद हल्का सा money coming in phase
Yeah.
to more money pouring phase and then a stable relationship with money.
Yeah.
वहाँ पहुँचते
And
पहुँचते
also
हमें
management. of
मनी मैनेजमेंट वहाँ पहुँचते पहुँचते हमें काफ़ी टाइम और काफ़ी एक्सपीरियंसेस लग गए. So to
Please
start
speak
with,
in English. Because it's money talks.
so money talks can only happen in English. Such a bad mentality that is.
Please talk in English.
So let's start with कि हमने college में कैसे how our relationship was with money in college and how being broke at that time felt fine versus now to even imagine to surviving on the kind of budget we had
No.
is impossible.
It's scary.
It's really scary to be very honest. Borderline like we were just surviving.
Yeah, we are
But-
pretty grateful.
So how was your relationship with money when we were borderline broke all the time? मुझे थोड़ा सा पता है, but how did it start and कैसा था? How much money do you had pouring in?
I think both of us had similar money pouring in college, which was not really pouring in. It was surviving cut to cut, even like literally meal to meal some days.
Yeah.
And I feel in college it was like, oh, whatever you get, you have to spend that. No,
Yeah.
you don't have to, but you kind of spend it and then you're like, oh my God, where did it go? I need more money. I need more money. So
swear.
it was very cut to cut because obviously your family would send it in a way that they would think, okay, she needs money to eat, travel, that's it. What else she's gonna do? Because even if we had to shop, then I had to call and I'm like, I need to shop, so I need more money for that. I think it was very cut to cut, and I would also sometimes, we would go and then we would not take the expensive
Things on the menu.
things on the menu, and then we would go for the cheaper one because the quality is more and then we can be more fuller.
Yes.
So it has literally started from that, and money management in that time was like extremely in negative, zero.
Yeah, I feel like with me, money was like, of course, you're in college and you're given a set budget from family, say certain budget aata tha har mahine, and you had to do everything in that. And Bombay is an expensive city, so be it like your, apart from rent, of course, be it your like travel, your eating, your shopping, your everything has to happen into that budget. So initially, मुझे लगता है first year and second year का first half, money was not such a big a problem for me because I used to be mostly indoors and घर पे बैठी रहती थी, and मेरा tiffin set था that there used to be tiffin lady used to come, so my food was sorted, so उसमें ज़्यादा पैसे खर्च नहीं होते थे. I used to not go out, मैं घूमती नहीं थी, ज़्यादा पैसे खर्च नहीं होते थे जब से ये लड़की मेरी लाइफ में आई.
In third year we were roommates.
जब से ये लड़की मेरी लाइफ में आई मतलब 24/7 मेरे पैसे खर्च होने शुरू हुए. So then suddenly
because I'm more of an experience, you guys. I come with experiences. I
Yeah.
just don't come with a stagnant friendship. I'm like, maybe we should go for shopping today.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go
for a
to the
movie
beach
today, or maybe we should go to the
movie.
beach today.
Yeah, what is the point of life like this? But I think Mansi needed a friend like me, or else she would have been
100%.
pretty set in her own ways. And for me,
Yeah.
I constantly need to be like having experiences of things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, okay, so how much budget do you have? Okay, we have to see movie this.
Oh yeah, so she used to be the planner also. ठीक है, so she used to not
And
only come
worst-
with like when we are going to spend
planner.
it. Yeah, she was not only like when we are going to where we are going to spend it. She's like how we are going to spend it, how much we do have to spend. So she used to make that entire thing. कि, okay, so how much budget do we have? ठीक है, तो अगर हमारा एस्पिरेशन है मरीन ड्राइव्स जाना, ठीक है, और हमारे पास
पे पिज्जा बाय बे तो हमने खाया ही नहीं है.
वो तो
college में.
possible ही नहीं हो
हम
सकता.
चने खाते थे.
So she was like, see, we can only do one luxury experience. Now, one luxury experience is to go to Marine Drives, right? So what is the second one? Let's compromise on the, if we are doing travel nice, then we'll compromise on the food. If we are doing food nice, we'll compromise on the travel.
Yeah.
So that used to be a basic dynamic. But we used to plan our budgets together. And होता ये था कि इसके घर से, because she came from a family जहाँ से इसको first budget मिलता था, the entire month का allocation, and I used to get it on mid of month. ठीक है, so
but we both used to get the same amount of money from our parents.
Yeah, so she used to spend from 1st to 15th.
We would spend on both of us. Obviously, we are eating out, we are shopping out, we were like everything together.
And everything was like shared, like everything was same. We used
because
to eat together.
Because we did not even do any different things at that point.
Yeah. So she used to spend like 1 to 15th, and I used to spend from 15 to then the end of the month. The dates specifically which were really like bad for us were like 13th, 14th and 20th, 29th.
Yeah, 13th, 14th, 20th, 29th, because that was like, oh my god, my budget is almost getting over. This is like 13th of the month. When is your budget coming? And obviously, parents being parents, they are not your job office that they will pay you on time. They would be like one day here or there, it will go. But that one day, to survive that one day in like 30 rupees or 15 rupees, because we also used to take auto to college, so we would be like, oh my god, we would have friends who had scooties and we would just be like, okay.
Yeah, so then the month used to start with like going in autos, coming in autos, going in autos, and by the end of like 13th, 14th, then we used to start walking or either
or
calling friends, please can you pick me up for the college?
And then they had like scooties and we would go 3 people on the scooty.
And then skipping auto altogether, and same on the end of the month. So I think that was a stagnant period of 3-4 days जब हम बिल्कुल ही crunch में आ जाते थे कि अब तो पैसे ही नहीं हमारे पास.
And you know, though, I remember this one scene because me and her, we were immigrants to Bombay, but majority of our college people were from Bombay. So they used to have lunch, breakfast and all, they used to come. But for us, our lunch was in college canteen.
Yeah.
So we would also, like, when we would take the plate and then we would pay for it, we would have to be like so efficient that our other friends are not seeing that we are eating. Because if they see we are eating, everyone was gonna come and take one bite each.
And now, then हमारे पास क्या बचेगा?
Obviously, that's our lunch. How are we gonna finish that lunch and also gonna be full with it? So there was a speed difference. Like, as soon as there is break and you know people are chitter-chatting, we go, we quickly order, we quickly eat and finish it off before everyone is coming, so we don't have to share and we still feel full. Like the struggles we are going through.
I swear now that we,
Can you believe that we used to do that?
Oh my god, to recollect that,
because then we were like, oh my god, we don't have the money to spend
buy another
lunch
dish,
because we used to also share that one. Whatever.
And I think in those days, like me and Sakshi were very transparent with our money and money
because it was equal amount coming, no share, no loss.
So money issue, we were very vocal about it, but we were not that vocal with other friends. So we never wanted to show the other people that we don't have the money.
Yeah.
But we knew that we don't have the money, so we used to very strategically plan
it. But still in all that group, I feel we had the most amount of money.
Still, somehow. And then we used to spend on these, like, but overall, dekha jaye to our relationship with money was not such a big topic.
Yeah,
I feel.
For both of us, I feel it was like we were like, it's okay, it will come, it will come. It was never a scarcity mindset for both of us. We would rather enjoy the experience.
Right.
And we would be like, it's okay.
Yeah,
now
it
will come and eventually we are gonna earn. So what's the big deal?
Eventually, we used to always look forward to like, aa jayega, whatever will come. And we used to never be like, control my money. Like, we never thought that, oh, we have less money, so we'll enjoy less, or we'll have this. We always find alternatives.
Yeah, we would in fact find alternatives because in that time I also got her into shopping, and there was Shein, which was very cheap and all that.
Yeah.
So we would also share our clothes that we would shop, because at that point we were like similar size.
Yeah,
and all
we used
that.
to very strategically plan and then
we would
buy
shop.
clothes.
Even the clothes we would shop, it was not her closet or my closet. It was our closet. We would just randomly pick and choose, and then so if we have to shop, then she would make a budget where we are compromising on food alternatives. We should always find ways to do like things, but we always managed to do whatever we want to do.
Somehow, and it was never like, oh my god, we don't have money, what to do. It was always like, we'll figure it out, we'll do something. And I think our relationship with money in college time was pretty good, decent. I would not say it was the worst kind of relationship. Of course, we came from a middle class family, so we had a certain allocated budget that we had to, do our entire spending into. But then still, we were not like, we never felt like we are deprived of things just
Yeah.
because we don't have money. So I
Yeah.
think pretty much we were in a healthy relationship with money. Also, I remember we were thoughtful of where we are spending. Like, we were not like stupid spenders, like we can spend it anywhere and everywhere. We used to go very planned. Like, we had a budget for every day that we are going to spend 100 rupees in canteen. That used to get us like a 70 rupees ka plate of idli sambar, or that used to get us a 70 rupees ka plate for masala dosa, or a 70 rupees
No,
plate ka
that is too
Shezwan noodles.
expensive. We used to get 50 rupees a plate.
Oh yeah,
And then
Shezwan
25
noodles.
we would take Coke or
Coke,
whatever.
and then we used to take Appy Fizz, 10 rupees.
Yeah.
So we had a very set, like basically very set
allocation.
allocation of money. And lunch ke liye 100 rupees, dinner ke liye
Yeah.
whatever rupees. So
Yeah.
that ways we were not like stupid enough ke aaya aur kharch kar diya, and then we were like what to do. So
Yeah.
we've been gone by like rule books of how to spend money in college days. But I remember that we were also not stupid to spend money anywhere. Like we were
We
shifting
were very
houses.
good kids.
Yeah, we were very good kids.
To start with, we would also not go, like, we were not kids who would go out in bars and like try drinking alcohol. And
We used to
spend
never
money
drink
on-
and stuff, so our money never
we
got
both fortunately never liked the taste of alcohol and drinking. Like, we hated it. Hated it.
And what we used to spend our money on was cold coffee.
Cold coffee, yeah, that was our high.
That was our obsession. Like cold coffee, buying cold coffee was something that we used to feel like
the
luxury.
people in our class, I feel, because we were so stable with our choices, the people in our class, they used to spend on bars, alcohol, or substance
Yeah.
abuse. But we both were better than that.
Yeah, we never had to. So we never had like the major chunk खर्चा जो होता है वो आपका college time में बच्चों का ये होता है to going out, going in
Yeah.
bars and drinking and all of that. So we never did that. So we never had that kind of expense in our life.
Yeah.
But I remember, do you remember when we were shifting our houses? Like both of us were moving in for the first
Yeah.
time. We had to buy a cupboard because our room didn't had a cupboard.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
And then we searched so much online to buy a decent cupboard because every new cupboard was coming for like 10 grand, 15 grand, which
For us at that time was like a huge
amount of money. So we thought that what can we do? What can we do? So we started finding all these like reseller pages and like उस time पे वो भी
Like
तो एक होता था. There used to be this eBay.
Yeah.
And there was this marketplace where you used to sell
Yes,
like
yes,
second-hand
yes.
stuff. So we started searching on that. We started searching on Facebook pages and we found this cupboard, which was we were getting for 3,000 or 2,500.
हाँ.
Right? It was a double door cupboard, but उसका एक दरवाजा टूटा
Yeah,
हुआ
one door was not there, and we were like, "That's okay.
That's okay, we'll
Open wardrobe
manage."
feels,
We were like, that's
what is-
fine.
what
We
is-
can manage. Yeah, it would be a wardrobe
and
fee.
we did though.
Yeah, and so we got that cupboard, and also because now we've got that cupboard, theek hai. But that cupboard was coming from Goregaon West. Somebody had it east, and then we had to get it transported to the place we were living in, Andheri West. Now we checked on for like all these transportation costs and stuff, and they were costing like 1,500,
Yeah, we were like,
2,000.
then what's the point
मतलब
of like taking this cheap
इतने में तो
cupboard?
हम कोई और ही कबर्ड नहीं ले लेते
Yeah.
हमने तो पैसे बचाने के लिए कबर्ड लिए and then we went out in throughout our college asking everyone.
Then one of our girlfriends, her boyfriend was into this transportation business, and he was like,
I'll
help
do
you
it
guys.
because we went
And we did it in what, 300 rupees?
300 400 rupees
300,
like only the petrol
yeah.
charges or whatever. We literally went to every person asking do you have a big vehicle, do you have a big
Yeah,
vehicle, can somebody
my
carry our
God.
cupboard, and we arranged for that. We paid 300 rupees, we got that cupboard, and we were so happy that we cracked this budget friendly deal, and
Yeah.
that was like a high, like oh my god, we got a cupboard, double door
yeah.
cupboard in like 4,000, under 4,000, which was such a great thing. And I think that's how we've been in college.
Yeah.
Like our relationship was like that. We have gone to the extent of buying 100 rupees ka Starbucks because we couldn't buy it in the full price.
100 rupees ka Starbucks story is really funny. So Starbucks was doing this marketing campaign where
10th anniversary, maybe.
10th anniversary, I guess, where anything you buy, you're gonna get it for 100 rupees.
Yeah.
And before that, neither me or Mansi had Starbucks because it was like 500, 600. And what should we tell our parents? Parents from a small town that we had a coffee of 500 to 600 rupees, which
My
is
mother would die.
basically my whole week's money.
Food budget.
Food budget.
Yeah.
So
my mom would have died if she would have heard that I have spent like 500 rupees on a coffee, which happened later in life also when I took her for the first time in Starbucks. When I started earning my own money and I took her to Starbucks, she was like, I got a Starbucks for her. She's drinking. She's like, "Na, achhi hai coffee, kitne ki hai?" And I was like, I told her like it is for 400 or whatever. My mother literally had a choke and she then coughed the coffee out because she was like, what? 400 rupees ki cold coffee? And then I was like, Mummy, it's okay, it's not cold coffee. To start with, it's a frappuccino. And I was like, hey, jo bhi hai frappuccino. मैं घर में बना दूँ.
Oh, God. But you can actually make Starbucks quality coffee at home.
But the luxury to go and spend and to just sit in a cafe and to have a coffee is another thing. Like you can make, of course, now we have coffee machines and everything and beans and we know how to make the bestest of coffee. But still, the feeling to go to a cafe and just sit with your friends and have a coffee is different. I think.
Yeah, of course. Now
Which is
we
what
get it.
Yeah, which is what we were striving in college when we first had Starbucks. So we got in the line to Starbucks. So we got to know
Which was how long?
It was almost 2 hours long.
Yeah, and we stayed like it was Mandir Darshan or something.
Like we want to get क्या मिलेगा हमें इसके बाद हम ऐसे वेट कर रहे थे इतनी eagerly उसका. We didn't complain once that why this line is so long, or we didn't complain about anything because all
we were
we wanted
just
to
grateful that oh my god, we can drink Starbucks in 100
rupees. And then we had our first Starbucks, which is a okay-ish
It was okay,
experience.
because once we had it, we were like, what bull scrap.
Why are people spending so much money on this?
Yeah.
So I think that was our first relationship in college with money. What happened later? Like, how was your first feeling when you started earning your own money and you didn't have to depend on your parents?
Oh my god, when I started earning my own money, I was like, no one can stop me now.
One sec, I also want to add to this. Before she's going to go to the after college money experience, she also was doing internship.
Oh yes, I got a paid internship. Because for me at that time, people wouldn't really like internship in itself was a big opportunity.
Yeah.
So generally it's like unpaid, and I was expecting unpaid, but then when my offer letter of internship came in, they are like, oh my god, she's gonna get 8,000 rupees stipend, and 8,000 rupees for me at that time was like crazy money, because internship was maximum 2,000, 3,000. My company was giving me 8,000 rupees, and I was like,
and then I remember before me going for the vacation, so we have a month vacation, she has landed up on this internship and she just told me that, I'm going for this internship and opportunity and all that. I said, good. So I've gone to my hometown, I come back after a month. Now Sakshi has suddenly, she's like, I come first time, I have entered the house and she's like, "Tu pata kahan jana hai? Kaun se restaurant mein khane jana hai?" I'm like, what happened? तो मैं like ऐसा क्या मतलब what is it's not your birthday, it's not
2 months I got like 16,000.
So I said it's not your birthday, nor it's my birthday,
and where are you getting that money from?
And I'm like, there's no special occasion. Why are we going for this like fancy restaurant thingy? And she's like, you just tell me where you want to eat. And then we ended up on the fanciest restaurant for us in that time was Mao, the family restaurant.
Oh yes.
Which was like a normal basic.
See, I completely forgot that.
Really? It was like the most basic ass restaurant on the corner of our college road. And we used to think that that's the most expensive because food for two there was like for some 800, 900 rupees, which was like a lot for us. 450 for one person, one time food was a lot. And she's like, I'm going to give you this treat and all of that. And I'm like, ये लड़की कहीं से डाका मार के आई है? Where is this money coming? Yeah, where is this money coming from? And then I asked her, where is this money coming from? Why are you splurging and all of that? And she's like, you know what? This internship paid me really well. And I was like, what are you talking about? She said, yes, I got this much money and इतना पैसा तो हमने एक साथ कभी देखा ही नहीं था लाइफ में किसी के भी अकाउंट में. And I vividly remember that we're looking at Sakshi's account with so much money sitting in it.
And we're like, इसके बाद क्या करना है? इसके बाद क्या करना है? Because for me it's like, no matter how much money you are not spending it with your loved ones, then what's the point, man? Like it's so sad if you're rich alone and just spending it all by yourself, just taking experiences alone. That's for me is like super sad. I love to experience things with my close ones.
That's true. And then I think I nicely remember then she said that we'll go shopping. We went to Hill Road. We bought like three tops. And
Hill Road, because Hill Road is an alternate option for girls who love to dress up but like want cheaper
options. Now the Hill Road has also become out of budget only. Hill Road mein people are selling tops for 800, 900 now.
Inflation?
Yeah. No, earlier when we used to go to Hill Road, we used to get like 300 mein 2 tops or 200 mein 1 top, which was
100
fancy.
mein 1 top,
100
sometimes
like skirts.
50 mein.
Yeah, and we have explored all the markets that were
Yeah.
possible. There was this market. Oh, and we are also giving you new information. So earlier, Andheri station ke samne, Andheri West station ke samne, when you used to exit, there's a Timex ka store. If people know, uske samne there were these
Oh yes.
street sellers like with one hanger rod. They used to have like some tops. I think they were thrifted only. Like all these tops laid out, and you could just scan through the entire thing and get something for yourself. And if you were lucky, you will find a Vero Moda or a Only piece
Yeah.
or a mango ka
Which
top.
were basically like discarded.
Discarded and or thrifted, whatever, and you used to find them. So we used to go there also, and there also we used to get tops for 100 or 50.
Yeah.
100 mein do aise, and then we used to, but that used to take a lot of effort. You had to search through the entire thing.
Yeah.
And there was no trial room, so you used to put it on your own self.
Yeah, just
and,
like on the road.
yeah, and we used to bet on each other, like, ye acha lag raha hai, acha hi hoga, because there's no return policy also, of course. So we used to contemplate so much, and we used to spend like one hour to just go through that
Yes,
entire
and
racks of.
in that I remember because it was linked to our auto, so we would also take a sharing auto. We would
Yeah.
never take an auto just for 2 of us.
Yeah.
Sharing auto, when they would charge 10
rupees.
each. And we would always take local trains because it was so
cheap. And sometimes we used to not even
travel,
pay for
just
that local train ka
Yeah,
ticket.
we would just like be like, just get in without ticket,
Bheed mein
whatever,
nikal
man.
jayenge.
And we
Yeah.
would get out easily.
Yeah. So all of those were like our college days experiences,
Yeah.
which we had, and
And really nice ones.
Yeah, really
like now
nice
that I look back at it, I'm like, oh my god.
we didn't have the money, but we were fulfilled.
We were fulfilled, and whatever little money came to us, the happiness that we got out of it, because we were living literally like end to end. Kal ka
Yeah.
kya pata, aaj
And-
ji lete types.
Yeah,
Like,
and
there was
sometimes
no
if your
future
parents,
responsibility,
yeah,
right?
and sometimes when your parents used to just give you like those extra 1,000 or extra 500 rupees, it used to feel like, oh my god. So the gratefulness for money
At
was
that time
way,
was much more higher.
way higher.
Because we knew na cut to cut kaise
Yeah.
life is like so hard, and
I think,
there were times when we both used to go to like parties, and we would like, it's like, I don't know, bittersweet kind of feeling.
Yeah.
But we both wouldn't order anything on our table. We would just go because we have to show up, because we
Yeah.
knew ki, oh, it's month end. We have to,
You
like we have to
save.
split if we eat.
Yeah.
And it would not be fair because we both don't eat that much.
Yeah, so we
And
used to not order anything, and we used to just aankhon mein hamari baat hoti thi when we used to be like,
it's okay, we'll have a like drink or something.
Yeah.
It was not that much.
yeah, or we used to go for like fries.
Yeah.
We'll order fries,
Fries,
and then we
yeah.
used to share the fries, both of
Yeah.
us, and we used to make all these bahanas. Nahi, hum kha ke aaye hain, or no, our Didi has made a lot of food. We have to
Yeah,
finish
we have to
that.
finish,
Like
yeah.
we used to, oh my god, those are like bittersweet feelings, but
Yeah.
still, like we were mature enough to,
To be
never.
proud of how you take call at that
Yes,
time.
and we never let that come in like hindrance with our happiness.
Yeah.
Like it used to happen, but we used to put it so quickly in the back of the
And
head,
then we would still enjoy the
and we used to
moment.
never crib about it.
Yeah.
Like, this is why we are here, and then we were somehow surrounded with people who had money, like who
Yes.
came from
Good
good
family.
families, or people who can spend money,
Yeah.
and we surrounded by those people, or who have already houses
Because
here, so-
they were in Bombay, so they would only
Exactly.
get money whenever they go to outing, because they did not have rent, food, everything to take care
Yeah.
of. Versus we had everything to take care of by ourselves.
Yeah. But how was it? How was the first feeling when you started earning, and then you
So when
became-
my first, I feel the first feeling of ever earning money was internship, but the official feeling of my first paycheck was really, really nice. Because then I'm like, oh my god, thank god, now I don't have to ask for rent money, this money, that money. But it ended up being I still needed more money because Bombay is so expensive. That fine, whatever rent I can take care of, food I can take care of. But me as a person, then my demands went more up because I was in corporate field. I needed the right clothes. I needed how it's like demand and supply.
your money increases, but then your standards also increases.
Your luxury increases.
Yeah.
Now I am a woman. Like I have to dress up like one. I have to show up like one. So it's not like college में जो 3-4 कपड़े पहन के बस हम constantly निकल लिए or whatever. I have to show up in a certain way for my meetings. I have to show up in a certain way here wherever I go. So obviously that changed, and because I used to also we used to get reimbursed for the meetings and all that wherever we used to go to, but the initial amount we only have to spend, and then we can give receipts, and by the end of it we will get it all. But also to manage that money in the first 2 months, I did not understand. I'm like, but I don't have that kind of money to go on meetings and everything, and I was a newbie, so I really felt like embarrassed in front of other people who were sharing, like always like paying. Like I don't want to say that, you know, that I don't have the money to pay for cab, because all of these things were in picture. I still needed money from my mom, because it was not a very, I mean, for me it was like, wow, I get so much money for myself, but still not sufficient. Still I was like, I need money. And it was still cut to cut. It was not, I could not save 1 rupee in that job.
Yeah, of course you cannot, because initially when you start working, I feel like you feel, you know, I think expectations with monies are also very different. Like I used to feel the kind of background we came from and the kind of money we used to survive in college, 15,000-20,000 was more than enough for us, including our rent and everything.
Yeah, because there was not a
exactly no expenses and nothing
setup
involved. So my expectation when I was in college was, I used to be like, oh my god, if I get out of college and I get a job which will pay me like 45,000, 50,000 a month, I would be the richest person. Like in comparison to like 15, 20,000, 40, 50 looked like a very sufficient amount to live your life in. But then you don't understand with like how life quickly changes. The more you grow, the more your standards and more you know, the purchasing power, the things that you'll need also grow.
Changes.
And change. And then you'll need more money. So it is never sufficient. Like when you reach that 40, 50 and 40, 50 started coming in, you thought it's peanuts. And then you aimed for like 70, 80, 90. Aa jayega, to matlab I'll be the richest. I mean, I remember very vividly that when I was in college, I used to think that if I started ever in my life, if I started earning 1 lakh a month, I would be the richest person.
You don't need more anything than
I will not think about anything in life then. Like I would not think about anything. I will have everything.
But then you forget that your rental standard increases. Because that's what happens. Because even I thought, oh, this is sufficient for me. But as soon as I started working, I'm like, I don't need to be in this PG. I need a separate apartment with my other girls. So me and these 2 other girls, we were living in 1 bedroom. And obviously everything changed after that. Then the rent increased. Then the food, we needed a separate cook for ourselves. Then the ration ka budget. Then the groceries together. Everything changes. And in all that, you're so consumed. Everything is
that
just
you don't
gone.
See. And then you look back and you feel like, and when I made that first lakh, when I made that first lakh, I could not even take in that moment. I felt like, where did that money go? Like I made that amount which I always dreamt for, and it just came and it just went, and you couldn't even realize it. Like you didn't had even the time to
just
process and be happy that, you know, this was once a dream and I've achieved it. Because then by the time you reach there, you feel like this is nothing. Like what was I dreaming for? Like I have to aim way higher. But that
standards also gets much more higher, right? And like something that you have never seen before, then you feel like purchasing everything. Because now I went from Hill Road college shopping to H&M shopping or only shopping, whatever. Zara I still could not reach at that point. But then I'm like, oh, now I have to spend money here. So like whatever I used to get, the things that I was craving for, I used to spend money on that. I'm like, oh, I need good clothing now. I need good food now, good experiences. And as a person, I'm like so heavy on life experiences. So now I needed experiences with trampoline parks or whatever, wherever I could go to on the weekends or, you know, things like that. So eventually, even if the money keeps increasing, your spending power changes, your lifestyle changes, your wants, needs, everything change according to. So I just feel no money is ever good enough for anyone.
It's not going to be ever sufficient, but what you learn with age is how to be in a relationship with money where, you know, you respect it and you're grateful for it and you're working towards it, but you're not also letting it consume the entirety of your personality or the entirety of your existence. Like I feel like one thing I started lacking. So after college, for me, the earning was not like a very number earning. Like, you know, there was no certain number that I'm going to make every month. Because I
Yeah.
started with modeling and I started young. Like I was 21, 22 when I started with modeling. And suddenly I saw this huge chunk of money pouring in. I would not say it was a less sort of amount of money. It was way above than whatever I expected in that age, of course. So when it started pouring in, it felt like, oh my god, this is it. Like this, I have made it. I will not need anything more than this. But when it started pouring it, my expenses also started increasing. Me being an elder child, I had two more younger siblings. And then you know what
Well,
happens?
I will never give one penny to my and that's you being good. No, I will give, but I don't want to.
Yeah, but you know what happens with that is also when you are in the college, like as I said, that we used to live on like cut to cut basis. Like, you know, we had a set money which we used to spend and all of that. And we deprived ourselves of a lot of experiences because we didn't want to overspend or didn't want to burden our parents with
Yeah.
the kind of money we are asking. And I was always thoughtful that I have two kids after me, and which my parents also have to, you know, look out for financially. So I never went like overboard that no, I will enjoy everything and then you cut on them or whatever in that situation. So I was very mindful about how I spend so that they can not be burdened only with me. But when I started earning money, it was such a liberating feeling because now suddenly I had the money which I can also spend on my siblings and they can also have experiences which I never had in my college. So like I shopped from Hill Road, but I made sure that my siblings, both of my siblings, shop from like H&M, Zara. Like my brother, till the time my brother came into college, I was sufficient enough that he was not wearing anything from like street. He was wearing everything which was branded because I wanted him to have that experience. And then I wanted my sister, like we did not go for a lot of trips when we were in college. So I made sure that my sister or my brother, they go for trips. They go for experiences. They go to new things. They try new things. So I always made sure that they had the experiences which I don't have, which is a human thing. Like if you grow in life, you want the people around you to have that same sort of level of growth and stuff. But in that entire process, I forgot to. Then my entire center focus became on spending it on my parents or my brothers or my sisters, and then I sidelined myself. So whatever things I wanted for myself, I never put them in the first priority. And I feel like that was an entire phase where my relationship with money was, and I used to also, because I did for long so much for them, I literally valued my position in their life with money. I thought like if I am giving them money to spend and if I am being the provider in the relationship, then I'm a good sister. If I don't have that to do, then I'm a bad sister.
You were judging your worth.
I was
according
judging
to
my worth with how
you
much
can
money I
give.
was earning. And I think that was the entire phase where my relationship with money actually started going
down.
like I feel like it was not nice, and I was constantly in a state of I want to make more so that I can send here, I can send him there, I can do this for them, I can do this for this, and I can do this for my parents, and I could do this. In that entire years, I never had a thought that what do I want? Like what do I want to spend on? What experiences do I want? How should I manage it in a way that I can also spend it on me? And I feel like that was completely sidelined. And once that was sidelined, now because I'm earning also, I'm making money also, I am spending also, but I'm not getting the happiness of it. Because I'm not getting the satisfactory part of it. Like the fulfillment that I had in college with the less money was still more than what I had now. Like I had the money, I had everything, but I didn't have the fulfillment. Because I was literally sidelining all that I needed or I wanted. So I feel like that entire phase sort of went little haywire with money's place, and then it was later in life, very recently actually, that I understood that this was not a good relationship, which will it's not a good relationship I'll have with money which will long last me. So I need to start sort of somewhere drawing the boundaries and sort of somewhere putting myself first and then others maybe, which I have recently started doing. I don't know how much still I'm able to do it. I still feel like I'm a person who would eventually give in and give it to, the people I love around me more than myself. But
do you think that gives you more happiness than spending on yourself?
it does give me happiness for sure. I'm not going to deny that. But it also sort of brings me to a position where, as I said, that it makes me then feel like my worth in their life has to be measured by money, which is not a good relationship.
It will change, right? But you now understand that, oh, this is actually giving me happiness being a provider. A lot of people like it that way. A lot of people like it in the self way. But I think to whatever extent I've known you, You like it more when you do it for people. That
Yes.
actually gives
I
you
am a
happiness.
provider, yes.
But maybe you should. I think you can do it very well now. You can just segregate it because they don't see you as that. Maybe you see
Yeah.
yourself
No,
as
it
that.
was never my. I'm not saying it was
Yeah.
ever the way that my brother and sister used to look
But I
at
guess
me like
your
that.
way is of your
Provider.
happiness is being a provider,
Yes.
and there are two clear sectors in human being. One is someone
One is a receiver, one is a provider. She's a receiver.
like me. I love spending on myself. It gives me immense
Yeah.
amount of happiness. Whatever I do for myself is
Yeah.
like, but I am a giver, but when I give, but I'm a very selective giver. And
Yeah.
when I don't give, like, say, I would be like, then I would be very mindful. I would create a whole
Yeah.
experience while giving
Yes.
anything.
Yes. I feel like that's how it panned out for me. And,
And do
yeah.
you feel you still have, because I've experienced this with you, whenever you still do things for yourself and you have, touch wood, and you will always have immense amount of abundance in your life. You have
Yeah.
this abundant life. But even if you do something for yourself, you'll still have that little bit of guilt. Ki, "Arey,
I
karna
always
chahiye tha,
have that.
karna
I
nahi chahiye
always
tha."
have that.
And I'm like, of course karna chahiye tha. What do you mean nahi karna chahiye tha?
So exactly. So that is what I'm saying, that I want to mend that relationship.
Yeah.
Also, maybe it comes from the point that scarcity mindset. Like, we are middle class kids, right? So we've never seen the abundance of money that you don't have to, worry for money constantly. Like, this
that is always
conversation.
there in middle class.
I have
kids.
seen this, and I've vividly seen it, because now my group consists of people who are from backgrounds where they don't look in money in the same way that we do. I
Yeah.
feel like we always constantly have this conversation going on about, how to, even if we are earning today and tomorrow and day after, we'll still think about, what about the fourth day? What about the
Yeah.
fifth day? What about year later? What about 2 years
We
later?
will
What about
always
5 years
be
later?
like planners.
Yeah, so it'll always be in your head, like, how to.
This
this
reminds
coming.
me of a very beautiful interview of Javed Akhtar, where he was, because he also started, Javed Akhtar, Farhan Akhtar's dad.
Yeah.
He also started from a place where he used to like travel in trains, stay in like these like dungeon hostels
Yeah.
and all that. And then he says a beautiful line that he's like, whenever I see my life right now, sometimes it feels like this is not my life at all. Like, is this for real? Because when you look back in time and you see, oh my God, this is where I started from and this is what I have right now. Of course, you accept it and you cherish it, but there are
Yeah.
moments where you feel that I can't believe this is my life. This is maybe
Yeah.
someone else's life, but that is what you've created for yourself and you should
Yeah.
be really proud of it. But that feeling of that little bit of fear inside you always stays.
Yeah,
Either
not
it
belonging.
me,
The fear of not belonging.
Yeah,
here.
be it me, you, or Javed Akhtar.
Yeah.
If someone is coming from that point in your life and you're reaching to big stages, big platforms, and you're making it big in life, you'll always still have that little
feeling,
voice
yeah.
always screaming in you that, because
Yeah.
you've seen it, you've experienced it, you know
Yeah.
how this feels and you know how this feels.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit different with kids
Yes,
like us.
it is always different, because, and you realize all the more, like, when you're growing up and when you're like in your 20s and all of these are happening, you never put like thought to it.
Yeah.
You feel like this is how it is. This is how
Yeah.
world operates. This is how everyone feels, and this is how everyone has a conversation in their head with themselves and about the money.
Yeah.
But when you go into places where people come from abundant family and abundant houses, and you
They
see
don't
like
think like
how different they view money in, and how differently, even if you're spending the same amount on certain things, like how you view that thing and how they view that thing is so different.
Yeah.
Like, it's so different. Like, after spending the kind of guilt you have and the kind of carefree attitude they have is so different. And then you aspire to be at a place which will make you feel like that.
Mentally,
Yes.
'Cause
Financially,
fine,
you will
you're
be
doing
same.
equally.
Financially, you might be the same. Like,
or even higher.
or even higher, but still, like, the kind of certainty and security they have with money, you always thrive for that certainty and
Yeah.
security. And I feel like I am right now in my life in a process where I'm trying to find that security with money, where I
Yeah.
have a relationship where I feel like it's okay. I have, I don't have to constantly, crash myself for it. Like, you have to make.
Yeah.
You can be in a relaxed and calm place
Yeah.
also. And I feel that is very important. And plus, it is very also important with my profession because I don't come from a profession where a salary is coming in month to month. My profession doesn't give me that certainty. My profession is very uncertain in those terms. If there are months where it's literally overflowing like anything, and there might be months where it'll be nothing.
So how do you mentally keep yourself prepared? Because I think this might be a question for a lot of the people who are in your profession.
Yeah.
And personally, I feel it requires a lot of balls to be in this profession
It
because
is.
something where things are uncertain with money is basically your lifestyle.
Yes.
So, like, what are the tips that you can give to other people to be sane, and how do you handle life when things like this come?
I feel like it was very difficult. I'm still navigating to certain extent. Like I will not say that I'm fully there. Like I know how to do it, but it has been a journey altogether. Like you know, there were times when I was like literally I never had to think about, and I never thought like this is. So basically, when I started, it was never the amount I ever imagined to reach at that age, right? So
Yeah.
it came into
Bulk.
like full doors opened, and there was
Yeah.
only money I could
Yeah.
see, and I made a lot at a very young age, and I thought that, oh my god, this is maybe how it is going to be. But then it took me a little time to understand that I was then also switching from modeling to acting, and acting becomes all the more uncertain. And then I understood that, okay, oh my god, it is not maybe that regular and that flowing always, and there might be times where it is not going to come, or there will be no work for you in an entire month, and how do you survive on that? And plus, the payment terms in the industry are not good as well.
Yeah.
Like, they will promise you certain time and they'll come later, or there are certain times I've done print and shoots, like so many shoots which money never came in. Like the
Yeah.
money for them never came in. The clients just backed out, or they said that we don't have. And like, what do you do in such situations where you have also worked and you're still not going to get the
Yeah.
money? So this uncertainty is of course in this industry, but I think the only way to deal about it is, when it comes, be mindful of how you're going to place it, and keep on working on other arenas or other things that are going to generate you revenue. Of course, acting is something that, I'm going to say that, if it's not happening for 2 months, but if you happen to have 3 gigs or 4 gigs in a month, it is going to, balance it out for the next 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Acting does pay you, or this industry does pay you in that way, in that sense. But you also have to be very thoughtful about when it comes how you're spending it. Where are you putting it? And I feel like it is much more easier for people who come from a background where they don't have to think about these things, and they always have a support
Yeah.
in that sort of end. But for people like us, keep on creating new revenue
Who are also
options.
living by themselves.
Living by
every month,
themselves,
paying rent,
paying
for
rent,
food.
and be very mindful of your lifestyle. Because I feel like what happens with a lot of people in this industry is, once they get a gig and it pays them well, they suddenly increase their lifestyle to a point where they will feel like, I'm going to take everything only at this level. And then suddenly you're spending at this level. But what if the money doesn't come to that level next time? And then it is very difficult to go from there to below.
Spread your legs as per the size of your
Exactly.
blanket.
And especially if you're in this industry, spread your leg much lesser than your blanket. I feel like if your blanket is this, अदरवाइज हम बोलते हैं कि जितनी चादर उतने पैर पसारो, बट मुझे लगता है इस इंडस्ट्री में जितनी चादर है उससे आधा पैर पसारो, ताकि अगर आगे जाके वो चादर छोटी हो जाए तो तुम्हारे ऑलरेडी लिमिट्स में पैर है. डोंट गो बियॉन्ड, लाइक of course don't go
Yeah.
beyond your chadar for sure,
Yeah.
but don't be cut to your chadar also. Be lesser than your chadar, because then you're fine. Like then you can survive. Always keep like your savings intact for the next few months to come in. It's very easier said than done, because it takes immense amount of guts and balls to be in an industry where you know that how money will come, how much it will come, when it will come is uncertain. But I feel like if you have the passion and if you have the will, there are always work to do.
Yeah.
So you eventually will make it somehow, from somewhere. But yeah, you have to, and that's why I always say, like, for middle class to choose this profession is a tough choice. And I stand by this today also, because you don't have the kind of support financially that other people have. So it is a privileged profession, and it's a profession for people who have that sort of security in their life, and they can go all guns out. You will never. You will go through a lot of mental stress. You will go through a lot of money stress. You will go through a lot of, overthinking also. And money will also come in, but it will still be like a constant fight. that you're going to be in. So be prepared mentally for that. But I think that is with everybody, irrespective. It might be a little different in some different degrees, but that sort of uncertainty is going to be with everybody. Even if people, apart from government jobs, people in corporate also fear for their like, you know, what if. So ये what if तो कभी भी किसी के दिमाग में खत्म नहीं होता, be it whatever profession it is. But to have the mental capacity is something that I will focus on, and just to keep on like generating new revenues, and then being very, very mindful of the money when it is coming. Is what I feel has helped me.
That's so helpful.
But for you, how it has been? Like, how is it different from ours? Because you have a corporate.
Yeah, but like me as a person also, I'm very different. I have been in such a controlled financial environment since childhood, because with my family, it was, you know, my father was not very consistent or disciplined with money. So I've seen the best and the worst. It was never consistent. If it's best, I've seen this. If it's worse, I've seen this. Again, best, I've seen this life, and then this life. So growing up, I definitely knew that I like this. Of course.
Who doesn't?
Of course. So like, I'm going to find a way to make it this. But the real downfall that I saw was in my first job. Because of course it was money, but it was not great amount of money. And then initially I did not know how to manage it. And what was more frustrating is because I started hating my job because of like, I was not able to perform, like especially when I was associated with this one team of OTT platforms. I myself was not performing. The work was from morning to night, sometimes late night, everything. And then the amount of money that was coming in, I was extremely frustrated. And the thoughts that were spiraling in my head was like a victim mindset kind of a spiral, where it's like, oh my god, like everything was very trashy in my talks. So like, I'm frustrated with my job, I'm frustrated with the pay that is coming, like I need to change this, but I don't know how to change this. And me as a person, I'm a very fast decision maker. Like, I don't like to waste time anywhere, be it relationships, money, job. I like to move on real quick, real fast. And then I experienced it, and then some days or some months really became difficult for me in a way that I am experiencing similar things that I experienced in college. I'm like, this cannot be my life if I'm earning and I'm not even liking the job. So you know what's the point and all that. So even I'm resigning from this job, in a month I need another. How am I gonna survive, right? So I decided to resign from my old job where the money was not great, and I myself was not liking the job, and hence I was not performing. Like, I was not a very correct fit for that platform. And then I entered into a freelance zone of where I created my own team. I was working for a university. That is where the real money started coming in. And that is where I also realized I'm not a bad performer. I was just in the wrong spot. Like, I know how to take lead. I know how to create my own ideas. But for me, what depends is also the environment that I work in. Then when the environment was right, I started producing more work. I started producing more money. But even when that money came in, that was a lot of money. So all my, you know, from teenager to now, whatever was in me, like I could not take because of my family's condition was not great, or my own condition was not great. So whatever I sacrificed in all those years, I started giving myself that life, and I started taking experience. But in my mindset, I don't know why, but I always had that it's okay, I'm gonna make more money, I'm gonna experience this. And the feeling that I got out of those experience made me more grateful, thankful, and attract more money. Because for me, I understood the cycle for me. It's like, if I spend money is when I'm gonna get more money, and not that splurge. That time when I was 21, 22, when I was getting that lakhs, like it's a lot for a 21, 22-year-old when you get that amount of money. So I think the management that could have been better, like if I could have saved and all that, but I don't regret it because I lived all of my 20s. Desires, which were very much like, you know, on hold, because as a family we won't even take a vacation because of money issues. vacation as in not even a little bit here and there, because after a certain point, I think when I was in my 7th grade, the situation went really down real bad real fast. So everything came on my mom, and my mom was a homemaker, so even she was navigating things with us as kids. So because I sacrificed so much for such a long time, then around 21 to 23, whatever money came in, I literally splurged, and I was in a relationship where I was very comfortable because the rent was being paid by the partner that I was dating, or
So you were
food-
in a relationship, but both of the people were earning.
Yeah, food was taken care. So like my money was my money, sort of. Like I would pitch in, but not that much, because obviously my salary was not as great as him. So I entered into a very comfortable space. So it just happened for me that, like, I was frustrated. I don't know how the universe worked in my favor. I got into a relationship where everything was being taken care of, and I am just like, my money is my money kind of stuff. And then is when I adopted my cat. And that is when my real responsibility to money
changed.
actually changed. Then it was not just me, because if it was me for me all my life, it would have been so different, right? But still in India, then I keep progressing, but not that much progress. I was still never satisfied with the money that I earned, because I am big on like home decor stuff. I'm big on like personal wellness stuff. Like I want to spend a bomb on a workout class. Like I want all of those things. So for me, lifestyle is very much important. Be it from my morning routine to my house to my clothing, everything has to be a certain way. And I feel because I have started to live in that way, I have started to become that person, and because I've started to become that person,
You started
I
thriving for
work
that.
that way.
Yeah.
And then that has been a very plus point in making me attract my abundance.
Yeah.
Because then when you start living like that person, you don't want to go downhill.
Yeah.
You're only gonna think upwards and upwards.
Yeah.
So I think if you are doubting that, oh, should I, like, I can do it, but I don't know if that will demand a lot of finances, just do it. Because once you do it, you start becoming that person. And when you start becoming that person, you will find ways to make more money, or create that kind of work, or even like produce in work as much as you never did, right? Because let's say I was frustrated in that job, I'd not even feel like working because the money was less. I'm like,
Yeah. If you're not satisfied, then you don't want to put the
and then it
efforts
goes
in.
more downhill, because you're not even performing, your money is less, and then down.
Yeah.
But once you start to live a certain way, then you also start working for it,
Working for
because
that
you're
much
like,
more.
okay, now this is what I've built. Now there's no going down here.
Yeah.
There's only going up and up. And then I feel it was still okay, whatever, here and there. But the real money conversation happened when I was by myself in Canada. That is when I actually started managing my money, because then I had 2 cats. I
Yeah.
had my life. I was in a foreign country.
Yeah.
Everything changed. The whole dynamics changed. So I have insurance for myself, my cats, my everything. Then once I think I had responsibility of 2 lives on me, everything changed. Then I started educating myself more with money. I've hired money managers or people who deal with money to make me understand where should I be investing, or like, let's
Yeah.
not make the money sit in the bank or whatever. But that was also learning for good 2-3 years. And then I think now I'm at a stage where I'm still learning, but it's not cut to cut. It's like I have budgets allocated for everything.
Thing, yeah.
My own self, emergency funds, cat funds, future funds.
Yeah. I
Daily
think that is how
lifestyle,
you
yeah.
learn with life. Like the more you live, the more you experience, the more you spend, the more you understand your lifestyle, your spending habits, and the more then you understand, okay, this is what I need money in, this is where I can save, this is where I don't want to save, this is where I want to splurge. So I think it's a never ending relationship. Like it's a work in progress always. Like the more you learn, the more you understand. But I think what could have helped us earlier would have been if the entire society we are in, and if the people we're surrounded with would have started having money conversations at a very young age. I
Yeah.
think this is something which we really lack in our society.
And we should
We don't
also have
openly
such chapters or whatever in financial
financial,
planning,
yes.
in colleges for everyone, because it's so helpful.
I think if the parents start teaching their kids at a very young age about financial independence and about financial planning and saving money, it would be
and
a lot
not
more
just
better.
tell them that, oh, पैसे
जब बड़े होगी तब आ
so
जाएंगी
all
तब बचा
that,
ले.
yeah, like come on, like educate yourself and educate your kids.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
feel-
not like, oh, whatever. But I feel relationship with money is a very tricky thing. And you have to understand it.
Yeah.
You have to, like, for me, I just don't like spend on myself, but I like to give to like whoever I feel like I'm better
Connected
like,
to.
Connecting to also not, but it's just like for auto example, if I travel by an auto, then I'll always make sure they have 10-20 rupees more on their
Yeah.
account or whatever. I'll do like these little things. So I feel it's very important to also give someone who is in
Yeah.
need. And not just, this is just an example, but it's a very good mindset to have. If you also give out the money who's someone in need, then you understand the value of it more.
Yes.
And I like to do that
Yeah.
because if I have it, I'll do it. Of course, if I don't have it, I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
like, yo, मैं गरीब हूँ तो और गरीब हो जाऊँ. वैसा तो कुछ scene नहीं है. But
when you're in like sufficient, if you are in a sufficient place,
Yeah.
if you can help others,
and I like
it'll
giving.
make you
yeah.
more.
I like
yeah.
giving to the people who are in need, and I also like to not create a very basic experiences for people on their special birthdays who are close to me,
Yeah.
or even like random surprises and all that. Like, it gives me a lot of happiness when I do it for my own people. But I just feel that it's a revolving thing. If you're earning good money and if you're just like save, like
That never
literally,
helps. But I think that
is
doesn't
gonna-
work also.
That,
Like people
that
can
never
crib,
works. That
people
never
can crib
works,
about
yeah.
spending it, but it will be spent eventually.
Yeah,
so might as
eventually
well
वो
spend with
कैसे ना
like
कैसे निकल ही जाएगा. Like, it
Exactly.
has to be, you have to really work very hard with your relationship with money, no matter how rich you get. And if you still have that spending capacity कि इतना आ रहा नहीं, इतने में ही रह लूंगा, then
yeah.
how are you really gonna grow your
But I
mindset?
think that is also a very personal thing. Like, what are your past experiences? What are your current experiences? How much do you grow as a person and
Yeah.
evolve as a person also? So I think it is, as we said, it is a never-ending
Yeah.
process. Like, you will, with every age, you will understand something new with money. But all you used to strive is, but now what? To conclude with the entire thing, I feel like I'm in a position where I feel like money is important, of course.
Yes.
I'm not one who's going to say that, money can't buy you happiness, because money can buy you peace, and that
Yeah.
is very close to being
Happiness,
content
yeah,
and happiness.
100%.
So money is important, but it is not as important. It is important, but it is not the only sole important thing. Like, don't make everything in your life about money. Make it an important part, but don't make it in your entire life.
Yeah.
So I'm at this place with money right now. So I am also trying to like, solve like a lot of how I view money and how I view spending and all of that, and sort of cancel out the old pattern and make new habits, which till now I would like to say that I'm pretty much doing great with. So that's from my end.
I think for me personally, the biggest hitback of my life, money came in a picture where it liberated me a lot. It made me choose my own choices. It made me have my own decisions to walk out and live my own life. So money does play a huge role in
Yes.
my life, because it has allowed me to make very, very important decisions of my life. And if I was trapped depending on someone else's money, that would have never been the case. Then I would have not flourished the way I flourished. I just feel in today's generation, and if you're a woman, it liberates you a lot to make your own
100%.
choices, to make your own decisions.
Anyone, not a woman, anyone.
Yeah, but especially
Specifically
women, because before we were very much dependent on just like man earning. Since this, I think I have great immense amount of gratitude that I am capable of earning my own money, because if not, then I would have been stuck in certain situations.
Yeah.
Because I would in no capacity bow down to whatever life I'm living. So to live up to that, and I accepted that I would have been stuck.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go down. So that's why it was like I will perform more, but I will live my life
Yeah, the way I want.
the way I want to, and it's just a lot of history. I don't want to repeat it in my family. This definitely I don't want in my life. And there's a very good theory about manifesting it. Like, you know, if you're confused about manifesting, and I've read this somewhere, it says that be very clear on what you don't want. At least that you're not gonna attract. Be very clear on what
Yeah.
you don't want. Like, do an example. Just go in a coffee shop and tell the waitress, I don't want pumpkin latte. Everything else will work. So when she comes and recollects your order, she will always remember you don't want pumpkin latte is what you said. That's how the universe listens to you.
Yeah.
So like I'm very specific about this is not how I'm gonna live my life. But what are the other things that unfold? They might unfold in a
Yeah.
much more bigger way, because universe definitely knows that you don't want this.
This.
So that's how I've taken it, and I'm like, definitely not a life like this, but better. And always being honest to my work has been very rewarding with money.
But that is true
The
with
time where
everyone.
I have been dishonest, but there are people who do a little bit of cheating and they can still earn money. But I feel karma is such a bitch that it will go away.
Yeah.
So if you earn honest money, it will stay with you, and
Yeah.
it will keep growing. And just like being honest to my work and loyal to my work has always been my first priority, and it will be, because it allows me to have the life I have, and no man will be my priority beyond that. Even if I have a family, I know like once I have family and all that, that will be there, but it is still like my number one source of validation and security that comes with it. So yeah.
So, with that, we come to an end of this episode where we understood saving money is important, but so is iced coffee and the time you spend with your best friends while having that iced coffee.
Yeah, well, such a beautiful episodes and such great episodes we are giving back to back with all your love and with all our talent.
She's outright put herself there that I'm giving you the best. Anyways, thank you so much as always for joining in and listening to us so patiently.
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are on YouTube and Spotify. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.